Game one this weekend. Are you guys and the boys ready?
Yeah, look, it's we feel that we are ready. We've like all clubs, we've done a power of work over our summer. We worked on our game plan, and we feel we're in a really good spot. We're quite happy with our JLT Cup series. From there's a couple of areas we needed to tweak, and we've worked on, and we feel over in particular last fortnight, we've amended those, and so we feel like we're coming to round one in a good spot.
Why will this year, this season, be any different to the others?
Well, it's not. No, it's not. It's just like every other season, we're playing to make the finals. We've set out from our first year to make finals, and for whatever reason, along the journey, we've fallen short. But this year, in particular, we're really honing in on the finals campaign. So it's like all clubs. I mean, if you start now and you think, oh, okay, we're just going to try and make 10th, well then, what's the point? So we're looking to make the 8, and but we've got to strip it right back and look at round one, and we've got a pretty good opponent up the road under a new coach that are looking to get off to a really good start.
Are you optimistic now about injuries and stuff going forward?
Look, you never know with injuries. That's the fascination of it. I think this time last year we were in a very similar spot, but a couple of rounds into the season, you get a couple of collision injuries, and a couple of your key players are out, and it puts you behind the 8 ball. But we can't look back. We've got to look forward. So we're excited where our list sits right now. I think other than Sam Day and Michael Riscatelli, everyone else is available. So right here, right now, we're excited about that.
And 15th last year, do you agree that's just not good enough?
Yeah, of course, that's not acceptable. We know that. Every single person who is involved with this football club, including members, know that that's not good enough. And we're setting our sights on climbing that ladder quite quickly. Again, based off a really strong pre-season, healthy list, and and the excitement of Stephen May and Tommy Lynch taking over as captains and driving really strong standards, we believe that we can give that 8 a nudge.
And in the final JLT match, I think Rocket wasn't expecting much from Gary Ablett, but he stood up. So does that pressure then mount on him to perform in round one? Oh,
not really. Look, Gaz, he's performed over a long period of time. Yes, he's had some setbacks over the last sort of 2 years with injuries, but guys who have been the greats of the game are always going to be greats of the game. You look up the road, Dane Beams has missed a lot of football with the Brisbane Football Club, but we look at him and he's a star in and around stoppages. He's a great player, so he'll come back and have an impact straight up. We know that, and we're expecting that, and we're preparing for that. So good players just don't lose it. Yes, they might miss bulk of pre-seasons or in-season through injuries, but when they come back and they're fully fit, they usually play well.
Exciting to have the kid clash start the season. Why is that just so iconic?
Yeah, it's great, absolutely. I mean, it's great for Queensland footy, isn't it? I mean, 2 clubs who've had a pretty strong history when it comes to the Q clashes, and some really good games, and they got the upper hand on us. I think it's 7-5, so we're fully aware of that. They're under a new coach, Chris Fagan, who comes out of a great system. Analysing them over the JLT Cup, you can really see their game plan coming through. Their system's really strong, and if we're not on a game, they're going to take it right up to us, and we're fully respecting what they got in place. Again, Dane Beans, new captain, so that's exciting for him as well. Look, it's going to be a great challenge this weekend.
Where are the SUNS at in hosting the women's AFL? Will it be the curtain raiser?
I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. But if that was the case, if we were to get that to Metricon, that'd be unbelievable for Queensland footy. It's funny saying this, but to watch the Brisbane girls play and the way they've gone about it has been sensational, along with the Adelaide girls, of course. So the whole competition's been brilliant, and if we were lucky enough to host that at Metricon Stadium and display our stadium, that'd be unbelievable for us as a football club. But look, the girls deserve a big show, because the last 8 or 9 weeks has been brilliant football, and they deserve the best they get.
Has the club put in asked to host that this weekend?
Not exactly sure, but I'd imagine so, being so close to the Gabba with the stuff that's been going on there. So it would make a lot of sense if it was to fall through at the Gabba, we would host it. So fingers crossed we can get that. As I said, it'd be sensational for not only Queensland football, but for the girls themselves.
Played the Lions in JLT1. Is there anything you take out of that game that brings into round one?
Yeah, I think both sides will take a fair bit out of it. We weren't exactly happy the way we went about it that day, and I'm sure Brisbane were a bit the same, but again, it was their first game against opposition, so you're always going to have those little periods where you lapse or you don't consistently perform your game plan. So both sides would be a lot better for the run. I went down to Melbourne, watched them against the Western Bulldogs when they beat them, and they were highly impressive. So you can see the improvement from that first game to the second game with the Brisbane Lions. So again, we fully respect them and their system because it looks quite impressive.
Touched on it earlier, the lack of bodies in the injury room this time of year. How that sort of the pressure for spots seems a lot more intense heading into round one this year than it has in previous years, and a lot more sort of intensity for those spots.
Yeah, you're right. I guess, and also bringing the experience of Barlow and Lyons and Witts and these guys in, and Piercy Hanley also. Yeah, we've got match committee this afternoon, so the conversation will be a long one, I'd imagine, to see who makes that final 22. And I think when you're having those conversations, it means you're in a good position. And you know, we haven't had a lot of that over the previous years, which is unfortunate. But the past is the past. The future's right here and now. And right now, as I said, we sit in a good spot. But yeah, who makes the final 22 will be an interesting discussion.
How close are you to that final 22? Is there 5 spots that still need to be decided?
Yeah, probably 4 or 5. Yeah, probably 4 or 5 right here. Right now, we had a couple of guys play in our NEFL on the weekend, and you know, unlimited game time and performed quite well. So yeah, we're probably 4 or 5 spots we've got to chat about. So that's and then it comes down to the balance of the side as well. So a long afternoon ahead.
And where do you think the game will be won and lost on the weekend? Will it be in the midfield, or is it sort of the key positions?
Yeah, you often say, don't you? But I mean, any midfield that's got Beams, Rockcliffe, Rich, Zorko in it, those 4, you got to highly respect that. And analysing and following them over the JLT Cup, they've been highly impressive. So we feel it's going to be you know, really efficient, effective stoppage team. Whoever gets that gets ground position and will go a long way to winning. But we rate their midfield as high as any in the competition. So that's where we feel our biggest challenges.
And how confident are you in the Suns midfield depth? Obviously, Ablett and Swallow back, and those new additions you spoke about. How confident are you that they match up with the Lions? Yeah,
of course. So conversely, you're backing your own system, your own players. So as you said, having Gaz back and Dave Swallow, adding Pierce Hanley, you know, Mickey Barlow, these guys, so a lot of experience comes in. So although we, as I said, highly respect you know, one of the best midfields in the comp, we're going to back our guys in the whole way and put some things in place that we think we can nullify them and then play to our strengths.
I noticed Nichols was one of the boys that played in the NEFL. Deciding between him and Witts, is that going to be a tough decision, or would you just go with Witts?
I think at this stage, just through the limited game time that Tommy Nichols has had, although he played you know, quite well on the weekend, he needs another 1 or 2 runs before he'd come in contention for AFL selection. So right here, right now, Joe Witts will be our ruckman.
All right, and debutantes, will it, how many of them will get around?
Yeah, again, based off this discussion tonight, I wouldn't like to confirm any right now. But yeah, if we were to speak another 4 or 5 hours, I probably could confirm a couple. But I'll hold back on that. But fingers crossed, we do have 1 or 2.
Cool. Can I just re-ask you an earlier question?
Yep.
Just what Katie said before, with Gary performing on the weekends, is there any additional pressure after he did well last weekend?
There's no additional pressure from us internally. No, not at all. Look, Gaz is he's performed for a long period of time for this football club. You know, we know exactly where he's at. We've monitored him heavily over this summer. He's going to have a nice balance in his game of playing forward, but also playing inside mid. So, yeah, internally, there's no extra pressure on Gaz whatsoever. If anything, there's extra pressure on the other mids to take that pressure off Gaz. So that's where all our pressure lies on, is on the depth of our midfield.